There is one very, very important character that is required to do Secret Wars justice. Ladies and gentlemen, as proof of the unimaginable possibilities in the Marvel multi-universe, we give you the one person who could play Victor Von Doom.
New mask. Same task. What can I tell you? I like playing complicated characters.
Iron Man is Dr. Doom. With Avengers Doomsday set to premiere by December 2026, fans have begun speculating on how the red and golden armored superhero will end up on the wrong side of the equation as Dr. Doom. While unsettling, by now a lot of people would have started getting ideas on how this might be the case. So today, we will take some time to deep dive into the most likely possibilities, and hopefully by the end of this video, you will feel more enlightened to see what makes our classic superhero had to upgrade. Today we have prepared some of the most possible theories surrounding this rabbit hole and shed some light on this enigmatic mystery. One Victor Von Doom from a future alternate universe traveled back in time to seal his rebirth as Tony Stark. Okay. To do this, he will have to make the ultimate jump and race against time. Reach his mother, Cynthia Von Doom, just in time before her marriage with Werner Von Doom, and convince her to engage with Howard Stark instead. If her seduction is successful, Howard will regularly sleep with her under her spell, since Howard himself does not have any self-defense against magic. And if Cynthia gets pregnant, Victor would be reborn as Victor Stark and inherit the Iron Man legacy. In case you are wondering, plan is that he will grow up to become infamous Iron Man, as its comic version suggested, and fight criminals as a Stark with a more confident identity. Ironically, though, by the end of the series, he will potentially lose his charisma and self-security because the Hood might be involved to give him facial scars from battle injury. And this event will lead to Doom returning to the dark side for the rest of his life. But the epic part of this speculation is that Tony Stark might still be born anyway. So potentially, if the movie follows this storyline, then a battle between the twin might result in an armor war.
New mask. Same task. What can I tell you? I like playing complicated characters.
Theory 2. Tony Stark's consciousness fused with 2005's Victor Von Doom's body in Latveria after his snap in Endgame. And Tony managed to regain his facial charisma after a little consultation with Franklin Richards Jr. before Victor's more dominant persona took over eventually. RDJ once mentioned the statement, "New mask, same task" in Comic-Con. That statement is more likely understood from Iron Man's perspective because the term same task refers to his former task as Iron Man.
Iron Man.
Furthermore, he added that he liked
Playing complicated characters.
and the term complicated here is highly suggestive of something we all suspect. This new theory, however, is inspired by two different post-credit scenes from two separate MCU movies featuring the same man, Dr. Doom from 2005's version of Fantastic Four. These two movies were Black Panther: Wakanda Forever and Fantastic Four: First Steps. The highlight here is that if upon zooming in towards the mask that Dr. Doom wears in both, we glimpsed a familiar face geometry, the 2005's version of Dr. Doom by Julian McMahon. But in 2014, Marvel Studios released an alternate Fantastic Four movie, and Dr. Doom looks entirely different from over there. Now, fact is that actor Julian McMahon passed away recently, but the big Easter egg here is that RDJ did make his audition to play Dr. Doom in place of Julian back in 2005. Now, Marvel Studios themselves have proven history of stitching various characters from various alternate movies into one, such as in 2021 Spider-Man: No Way Home, by bringing back Tobey Maguire, Andrew Garfield, and Willem Dafoe from ancient movies. And this time might not be any different. In fact, if you zoom in even further at the skies of Latveria in Black Panther's post-credit scene, you will notice a momentary white trail of smoke that looks like it comes from the exhaust system of a jet engine. But as far as I know, back in 2005 and beyond, Dr. Doom did not fly using jets. So how else could that stream of airliner be there in the first place? This is where Stark's involvement is first suspected in the movie, but until the movie trailer's official release, we might never know for certain. Then, by glimpsing further into Fantastic Four: First Steps post-credit scenes, We notice that the geometrical features of this mask remains the same, even though it looks newer and more polished by then. But if we compare that color for the tone of his cloak, we will see that the original, plain dark hueish green color have turned glowing emerald. Well, maybe this is just a way of saying that this little glow is just a matter of slight renewal. Or maybe Franklin repolished his mask and cloak before replanting his face. We can only guess. Of course, if this is true, then our version of Doctor Doom will be a character of deep conflict. But considering that Downey's face is displayed instead of McMahon's, gives us hope that the real Iron Man might eventually return.
It was like a dream.
Theory 3. Avengers Endgame did eliminate Thanos from all major timelines, starting with Thor beheading 2019 Thanos for murdering Loki, and ending with Iron Man performing his last snap to disintegrate 2014 Thanos. But the Easter egg here is that 2014 Thanos' arrival was never part of their plan, and this event will prove to have really serious implications towards all the other timelines, because 2014 Thanos' absence in that alterverse is the trigger that will set up future than 2015 alternate events surrounding Tony Stark, Ultron, and the Sokovia Accords, which might end in moral corruption, especially if Ultron doesn't. Besides, I personally kept wondering if Steve Rogers' return to Peggy was a mistake, because it is possible that they will have children, and comical nightmare theory is that this boy will grow up to be the new Red Skull, which will inspire the Captain to join Hydra eventually. You see, in stark contrast to the comical infamous Iron Man storyline featuring Victor Von Doom's ironic attempt at redemption after Stark's death, the comical Superior Iron Man features an unstable version of Stark who lost his moral compass after the events of Axis. In this plot, Tony developed a strain of ferrofluid metal from an alien symbiote sample that is liquid in form but solidified as hard as vibranium upon bondage with its host. While this new technology is not completely organic, it still have huge potential at being sentient. It is possible that this new upgrade will eventually bond with Stark's biology permanently, creating an organic biometal fusion as an iron shell that alters Tony both genetically as well as psychologically. It is widely speculated that this new mutant will be the new antagonist we all knew as Doctor Doom. Furthermore, considering alternate Loki's escape from alternate 2012, Superior Iron Man might see this misfortune as the official excuse for his new cosmic initiative. And if Superior Iron Man managed to reach Loki and took over Yggdrasil, he too will have the potential to rewrite timelines as God Emperor Doom. Still, it is possible that Avengers Doomsday will be a rebrand for Age of Ultron, just in case Ultron wins the ultimate battle and self-declares as Doctor Doom. This is unfortunately possible due to his unmatched mind transfer ability and constant real-time armor upgrade, as well as celestial level intellect only comprehensible by non-biological beings. If this wild spin is true, then Sokovia floating on mid-air might just be the new Latveria, and Tony might just end up becoming an unwilling member of a Council of Dooms Ultron initiated. After all being said, mind transfer is something only sentient AI like Ultron himself is good at. So if someone is wondering how 2019 Tony will return to the living after all, this idea is a good start. Theory 4. Tony Stark assumes the title of Doom as an act of revenge against the alternate Fantastic Four team. At first glance, the Fantastic Four First Steps movie seems to set its priority on Galactus and his herald, the Silver Surfer. But this scene might just be the biggest distraction the movie can present to their viewers. Because if we pay a closer attention to its official trailer and introduction scenes, we will notice some little details that actually have deeper meaning than it seems on the surface. First of all, Reed Richards were in a fight against super apes. Now theoretically, these super apes were designed by the Red Ghost, who was originally an Iron Man antagonist, not a Fantastic Four villain. Next, we also noticed that during the briefly described cosmic accident that the Fantastic team had tape recorded.
Welcome to the Baxter Building.
We make a point to do family dinner every week. Sunday at 7, on the dot, no matter what. We're all here.
There were 4 instead of 5 cosmic travelers. So even if Doctor Doom exists in this franchise, his mutant abilities will have to be gained through some other means. At this point, it might seem that Reed Richards is doing Tony's job in this Ultraverse. But now we also see Galactus being teleported away into an alternate universe, where it is speculated that he will devour that planet instead. You see, this is the real exception, because the team's original plan was to use that portal to teleport their planet away from that star system to prevent Galactus from devouring it. By teleporting Galactus instead, they risk an alternate universe to be sacrificed in their place. As far as I know, interdimensional portals opens and closes at the exact same geographical point in separate dimensions. So if Galactus arrives in some alternate other form of Earth 616 where Tony is supposed to be doing his job in Reed's place, then he is faced with deep misfortune due to lack of preparation. I do not want to ruin the mood here, okay? But should this matter be taken personally, then Mr. Fantastic will be held accountable for subsequent tragedies in Tony's reality. And if he managed to return to Reed's dimension as Galactus' new herald, it is very likely that certain acts of vengeance cannot be avoided, and Reed Richards will have to pay eventually. Theory 5. Avengers Doomsday follows the late Avengers, the Kang Dynasty script with necessary adjustments. Just a year before its official announcement, Kang the Conqueror, He Who Remains, and his variants were introduced as the would-be big bad at Marvel's official Comic-Con. But following Jonathan Majors' official arrest and uncertain future, the team started relying on RDJ instead. But this does not mean that Kang Dynasty is entirely canceled. You see, we have countless versions of Kang, starting with Kang the Conqueror, He Who Remains, the Pharaoh, blah blah blah, and eventually Doom, the Annihilating Conqueror. According to comic literature, Dr. Doom once fused with Iron Lad and Annihilus to form a superior version of Kang. And if this applies to the MCU, it will probably take place in the Quantumverse, because RDJ's snap in Endgame might have been his key to quantum mind transfer instead. Now, there is a recurring pattern that the color that each Avengers movie title is associated with hints at the different Infinity Gem that will have impact on the plot overall. Since Avengers Doomsday is displayed in green, we might speculate that some form of time travel is associated, and that time travel is commonly done through a quantum tunnel. To support this assumption, when Doctor Strange's surrendered the time gem that saved Tony's life in 2018's Infinity Wars, Tony visibly hesitated. So it might be the one Tony is most unlikely to let go, and might have the major effect during Tony's snap in Endgame, which might have rendered his body lifeless, but also transferred his mind through a quantum tunnel in a race against time. So, chances are, he might still remain somewhere in Quantum Mania, but as Dr. Doom instead of Tony Stark. This is because there is a strange quantum pattern that takes effect whenever a superhero or supervillain shrink into the quantum tunnel, not on purpose. It might have counter effects on their original identity, such as those observed during Darren Cross's dramatic transformation from the originally malicious Yellow Jacket into the eventually heroic and self-sacrificing MODOK. Our wild speculation is that this process also applied to Tony, but in a negative way. Finally, the impersonator theory with a unique twist. Firstly, MCU introduced the concept of copying Stark technologies through Black Panther Wakanda Forever's Ironheart, but this scenario is followed by the Latveria post-credit scene, which hinted at a similar plot line. Then, by simply following Ironheart's development, we saw that she had encounters with Mephisto and the Hood, by further taking Fantastic Four's post-credit scene into consideration as well, and pre-considered Doctor Doom's mask familiar face geometry alongside Stark's death, we may assume the conclusion that following the classic infamous Iron Man classic plot, Victor Von Doom visited Franklin Richards to get a cure for his pre-damaged face, and Franklin patterned it to look like the male he is most familiar with at his age, particularly his father Reed Richards. Unfortunately, though, Pedro Pascal's Reed had tons of facial similarity to those of Howard Stark from Earth 616, and as a result, Franklin designed Victor's face to look like Tony. Now that Reed and Victor look alike, they reconcile, and Victor started leading a new life as the infamous Iron Man, even though he do this anonymously under his armor without revealing his new face yet. But if this plot is consistent with the comic version of the character, it is the Hood under Mephisto's influence who will dismantle him, tear the mask open, and distort his face once more, thus turning him against the Avengers eventually. Thank you a bunch for sticking with me to the very end of the video. I would surely appreciate it if you like my content and subscribe to us, because then I will be able to deliver more videos like this directly into your feed as early as their release. Still, with that being said, all my theories are speculative, so until official release from Marvel Studios, please stick with me in the comment sections below to see if any of my guesses actually comes true. To be fair though, let me know there what you wanted covered next. And until then, that will be all. Good night.